I'm Sean.
I'm Constance.
And we're back with Dragon and Kraken books. Today we thought we would talk about books that we recommended to each other when we had first started dating. And these were books that we personally loved and recommended to the other, and it just did not go over very well with them. So yeah, this might get nasty. We got like two books. One I recommended to her, one that she recommended to me, and I guess
both of them were just big misses.
Right. So we'll start with you.
First one to talk about is one that I just hate, loathe. House of Leaves. Torture, this book.
Torture.
Most work I've ever put into reading a book. This should be sanctuary. This should be my relaxation time. This made me, I don't know what it made. It just, look at this. There's footnotes. It's like a psychopath wrote these pages. There's like two consecutive storylines. One goes on in the main story, one goes on in the footnotes, and it's very hard to follow. The text is written in geometric shapes. Sometimes there's one word on a page. Sometimes there's 15 pages of footnotes before you get back to the main story, and it's just almost very stream of consciousness. It's just not my cup of tea. I did not enjoy it. He felt very different about it.
I loved it. I mean, and I'll admit, it took me several tries to get into it. I picked it up, put it down, picked it up, put it down. It's not easy to get into it. Once you get sucked in, you're sucked in. She never got sucked in, but she picked it up, never put it down, powered through the whole thing. So that, kudos to her. But I think, I don't know. I love experimental stuff like that. Mark Danielewski, he does for the novel what E.E. Cummings did for poetry. It's very visual. Let me get that book back.
I can see the appeal, but I felt no emotion reading it. I read the words, I took in the information. That was as far as it went for me.
Plus, it's almost like there's like all sorts of things that you have to pay attention to. Like inside the front cover, this is like this collage here, and if you look at it really closely, this is information that you need to know at some point in the book. You know, if you want to like decipher some stuff, it's like a puzzle. It's about a labyrinth, a mysterious labyrinth that appears in this family's house, and the House of Leaves is a metaphor for the book itself, but also for like just the layers of getting lost in a labyrinth.
You will get lost.
A very Daedalian type labyrinth. I think it was Daedalus that made the labyrinth. But anyway, it has all the stuff going on with pop culture, with mythology, and Mark Danielewski. You know, he does a lot of like multimedia art now. I don't think he's written a novel in about 10 years, but you see the beginnings of his interests in this book, and I really appreciated what he did with it.
I wouldn't have read that book for anybody else, though. You should appreciate that fact.
I do. I appreciate it.
I don't know if I'll fall so easily next time.
The book that she recommended to me was The Kite Runner by Ahmad Husseini.
Khaled
Husseini. It's been a long time since I read it. But why don't you talk about why you love that shit so much?
It's the emotion for me. I found myself sobbing reading this book pretty much the entire time. And that to me is kind of a evidence of a good book, is that I felt it. It centers on these two boys. They're best friends. They grow up together. There's a big class disparity between the two. They experience this traumatic event together, and then one kind of lives the whole rest of his life kind of trying to seek redemption. He feels guilty over this event, and that's kind of what the book is about. And it follows this main character through his life and trying to redeem himself for how he acted during this traumatic event happening. And again, it's just full of emotion. These characters couldn't be more different from me. They'd set in Afghanistan. So it's not anything that I could directly relate to, and I think that's another reason why I enjoyed it. It's very informative of things that are going on in that part of the world at that time. I learned a lot. It let me feel some empathy for people that, you know, are very different from myself, and that, you know, have much harder, you know, goes of it than we who were born elsewhere. So I don't know. It's just big emotion that just got me. I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, there's a part in it that's sad, but I don't know. For me, it just felt like I don't know. It felt like a typical novel that people are going to forget about in, you know, I don't know, maybe another 20 years or so. I mean, probably not. I don't know, but
I won't.
It wasn't terrible. I'm not going to use like strong words like she did with my book. I'm not going to say it was torture or anything like that. It was just was okay. I didn't like the main character. The main character was a dick, and he was always a dick. And it's about his redemption. He's trying to become dickless, and he. I don't think he succeeds. You know, by the end of the book, I don't think he's redeemed himself. I felt unsatisfied. It leads up to this crazy, unbelievable kind of like video game boss fight that just took me out of the whole narrative.
It's a weird description. It's nothing to do with anything like that.
What? Yes.
A video game boss fight in the Kite Runner.
Yes, with the.
I mean, like a super villain. I get it. Like there's a big bad at the end.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. But he fights. Okay, never mind. I don't want to give anything away. I mean, it was, you know, 3 stars. I understand that everybody just sort of loves this book, but I don't know. I think you all are being manipulated.
I do want to say that if you hear this title and think that I'll just go watch the movie instead and avoid reading the book, it's not the same. While I love and treasure the book, I think the movie is complete trash. I think it leaves out too much. I think it changes too much. And it was just a heap of crap, really. But the book, amazing.
Okay, so that I think that's going to wrap it up. We have others that we each love and the other hates. So we'll probably revisit this format again. But if you have any thoughts about these books or thoughts about any books or anything you want to talk about in the comments, drop them there. And thanks for watching.
See you next time.